On 416 North Ewing, a large Queen Anne Victorian home rests, across the street from the Cathedral of St. Helena, blocks from downtown Helena, and minutes from hiking trails of the South Hills. The home has had many owners in its 140 plus years. Nick Jocks is the latest owner. Nick was raised on the 800 block of Ewing, just 4 blocks from the house he resides in now.
My name is Nick Jocks. I was born in this neighborhood, housed here for all my school year except for college. I went over to Missoula for college and then came back here and entered the practice of law, and then always in this neighborhood. So I feel real comfortable here.
The house has a rich history, from its construction to the Helena Catholic Diocese using the home as a rectory for the Cathedral of St. Helena's priests from the 1920s to 1972. It was then transformed into a duplex, and then a fourplex, and then converted into a daycare center. In 1976, a family bought the home and worked for 15 years, transforming it back into a single-family home, and now to its current use as the Barrister Apartments. The house has its own history, which varied from owner to owner. Herman Gans was the first with its construction.
This house was constructed in about 1874 when they started excavating for the foundation. In 1880, the family finally moved in, 6 years later. It was a Jewish clothing family that first had this house. This is a picture here of the husband, wife, and 2 daughters. You can see that they were really into elaborate clothes in the 1800s. So I guess it was fitting that they would own a clothing store.
Nick bought the house in 1992 with the sole intent to convert it into a bed and breakfast and name it the Barrister. He started working on the 30-room home. The home has 6 original ornate fireplaces, but he added cooling, 6 extra bathrooms, making a total of 8 bathrooms. He gave a tour of the home and gave us a look at the work he has put into it in the past 3 decades.
All the hidden construction was done when I bought the house. So I got to do the fun part, the decorating. And I had a son with a good eye, and he and I spent a lot of time getting this in shape for a bed and breakfast. That was the only reason I bought the house. I wouldn't want this much. There are 4 floors in this house. Each floor is totally done. Let's just kind of wander through it a little bit. This was always the dining room. You can see 2 pictures on the wall here. They both depict this room. This I'm sure was a Jewish holiday. The family standing in the back of the picture. So these are these windows right there. My son, while he was painting the walls in here, I was doing the ceiling. And the ceiling work kind of gave us some deep bonding experiences. My altar boy picture and First Communion picture sitting on the windows here, mainly because the cathedral where these pictures were taken is right across the street. You can see them out those windows. The first time I was in this house was at the insistence of Persnickety Monsignor Gilmore. I was serving a high mass, which has a lot of ceremony to it compared to the regular masses. And I screwed up serving mass for him enough to where he leaned down to where the congregation wasn't supposed to hear what he's saying, and he invited me to come to the rectory after Mass so he could discuss with me the proper way to serve the Mass. So yeah, I was in here. That's the first time. Yeah. And I wish I had the presence to look around and see what it looked like at that time, but I have no idea. The only thing I remember seeing is the end of the Monsignor's index finger. Oh, I built the medallion on the back porch and just came in here with a sheetrock jack and jacked it to the ceiling and fastened it. Yep, I couldn't find what I wanted, so. And the rail molding and the crown molding. Put stained glass in these windows. This was called, that leads to the kitchen, was called the maid's staircase. She was allowed on the front staircase only when she was cleaning it. Otherwise, she wasn't supposed to be using it. She was confined to the back staircase. In this kitchen here, this was originally 3 rooms. The kitchen, the original kitchen for the house was that post that way. And over here, from this post this way, there was a sitting room for the maid, and you can see the door to the outside. So she had her own private door in her living room, and over here was her bedroom. Each room had a window. And now back here is a brick building that I converted to a 2-level apartment or house, but I've got people renting back there. That was originally the carriage house, they called it. Now, this is kind of interesting. There was a tunnel between this house and the cathedral. Right? The tunnel came into this house about right here, down in the basement. And I know where the entrance was here. It's all been wooded, and you couldn't tell that it was a tunnel. And the back sacristy door of the cathedral, underneath there's a entrance to the tunnel from the cathedral. And that's still there. The door is to the tunnel, but you go about 2 feet this way. I've been over and investigating, but you go downstairs under that door, there's a door in the foundation wall. You open that door, you come 2 feet this way and you run into cinder block and cement and, you know, that's where it's sealed off. Now, I suspect it was rendered unuseful or dangerous at least after the 1935 earthquake. It was here. But before that, the priest could actually go from this rectory to the back of the cathedral without going outside. This back staircase is a little bit steeper than the front staircase. Now I know I can show you in this room, there's a picture of this bedroom on the wall here. Organized clutter, I think, was the decor. And this was a closet when I bought the house. And I cut through the wall that separated these two rooms and made it adjoining. So this is a 2-bedroom apartment now. Look at this stained glass window. This is original to the house, as well as the one right below it. This was an addition. If you look here at the quality of brick and compare it to this brick, there's quite a difference. And when the church had the house, they had it for almost 50 years. They put this addition on. Then when I came in, I opened up this. There was just a door there. In fact, the door that was there is right here. I just moved it over here to give it circular traffic and opened that up because I knew this was going to be the office and I didn't want to be closed in. This was this next room, kind of a library. I turned it into a TV room.
Nick Jocks has put 30 years of work into the Barrister. In fact, he is still doing projects to this day. It's a labor of love. It's a labor of preserving a piece of history for all of us to enjoy.